Hello students, we are going to discuss about our next module, module 3, that is delivering value or distribution. When a product has been developed and made ready and its price also determined, the next task is its distribution. Distribution refers to bringing the product to the market and giving it to the final consumer. Meaning, distribution is the operation which creates time, place, and form utility through the movement of goods and persons from one place to another. According to Mossman and Norton, distribution is the operation which creates time, place, and form utility through the movement of goods and persons from one place to another. Elements of distribution mix, channels of distribution, warehousing, transportation, and inventory. Components of distribution system. Distribution system has two components or subdivisions, physical distribution and channels of distribution. Meaning of physical distribution. In the words of AMA, physical distribution is moving of finished products from one end of a production line to consumers. Meaning of channel of distribution or marketing channels. In the words of Kotler, channel is a set of independent organizations involved in the process of making a product or service available for use of consumption. Channel of distribution means the set of marketing intermediaries through which the goods flow from the producer to consumer. They are also known as trade channels or marketing channels. Difference between physical distribution and channel of distribution. It is concerned with transportation, storage, warehousing, packaging, etc. Channel of distribution refers to the process or intermediaries through which goods move from the producer to the ultimate consumer. Role and importance of marketing channels: information gathering, consumer motivation, placing orders, bargaining, risk bearing, inventory management, promote higher standard of living, help to accomplish marketing objectives, value addition, marketing research, and demand forecasting. Length of channel. There are 4 channel levels. They are as follows: 0 level channel or direct marketing channel, 1 level channel, 2 level channel, and 3 level channel. Factors considered in selecting channels. Company or organizational channels. It includes financial position, business volume of the company, desire to control channel, product mix of the firm. Product factors. It includes product nature, product size, product price, and perishability. Market or consumer factors. Nature of the market, number of consumers, geographical distribution of customers, buying quantity, size of the market. Middlemen factors. Availability of middlemen, services provided by middlemen, reputation of the channel, cost of channel, and legal factors. Intensity of distribution or distribution policies. There are 3 different distribution policies. They are intensive or mass distribution, selective, and exclusive distribution. Channel design decisions. Designing a channel of distribution involves the following steps: analyzing customers' desired service output levels. Each of the channel produces 5 different kinds of service output levels. They are lot size, average waiting time of the customer, spatial convenience, selection, service. The next point: formulating objectives, evaluation of distribution environment, identify major channel alternatives, and evaluating major channel alternatives. Channel management decisions: selecting channel members, training channel members, motivating channel members, compensating channel members, evaluating channel members, and modifying channel arrangements. Channel conflicts refers to a situation when channel members are opposed to each other because of disagreement about the common purpose or goals or ways of attaining them. There are three types of channel conflict: vertical, horizontal, and multi-channel conflict. Causes of channel conflict: conflicting objectives, lack of clearly defined roles and responsibilities, fight for the same market, poor performance of the channel members, dependence of one channel member on others, unethical practices, supply of goods directly to key industrial customers, reduction in the area of operation. Managing channel conflict: important methods or approaches or strategies for effective conflict management are as follows: regular communication, forming dealer councils, co-optation, boundary strategy, interpenetration strategy, market positioning, channel ownership, coercion, conciliation, mediation, and arbitration. Channel cooperation means compatibility of marketing objectives of manufacturers and other intermediaries. Methods of improving channel cooperation: there are different ways it can be improved. Channel cooperation can improve. That is, agreement, defining the task of each member precisely, co-marketing, vertical marketing system, and horizontal marketing system. Benefits of channel cooperation: it will speed up inventory replenishment, it improves customer service, it reduces the cost of bringing products to the consumers, it helps to realize the overall channel goals as well as member goals. It leads to greater trust among channel members. It improves the overall functioning of the channel. It helps to build more satisfying relationship among channel members. Channel competition refers to the efforts by the marketers within a channel of distribution or by channels as a whole to establish dominance over the others. Types of channel competition: there are 4 types of channel competition: vertical, horizontal, intertype, and channel system competition. Channel integration and system. Channel integration involves streaming the different channel activities and information flow in a manner that leads to mutual benefits to all the partners concerned. Advantages of channel integration: it reduces transaction cost, it improves inventory management, it bridges the time, space, and variety gaps between production and consumption. It reduces the business opportunities lost due to stockouts and delayed delivery. It acts as a barrier to new entrants. It stabilizes supply of goods and services. It increases coordination of channel members. It increases the ability to respond to changing market needs. Method or forms or types of channel integration അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ പറയാം. Vertical, horizontal, and value added partnerships. അങ്ങനെ 3 The next topic, value networks. Value network is a system of partnership and alliances that a firm creates to source, augment, and deliver the company's offerings. Ways of adding value to marketing channel: company and firm level, distributor level, and dealer or retailer level. Middlemen in distribution. Mainly, all middlemen are classified into 3: merchant, agent, and facilitators. Function of middlemen: they help in the efficient distribution of goods, they help in the creation of place, time, and possession utilities, direct the flow of goods from the point of production to point of consumption, valuable market information provide undertake advertising and publicity, undertake transport, warehousing, and storing of goods, collect big orders. This leads to large scale production, help to keep the prices steady, Managing wholesaling. Wholesaler is the first intermediary in the channel of distribution. He is a trader who deals in large quantity. He generally deals in one or a few classes of goods. Functions of wholesalers: assembling of varieties of goods from different manufacturers, storing of goods in proper warehouses till they are sold to the retailers, distribution of goods to retailers, transporting of goods first from the place of production to the warehouse and from there to the retail stores, financing the retail trade by selling the goods to retailers on credit basis, grading of goods according to quality, size, quantity, color, etc., assuming of risks resulting from the change in price, change in demand, and from spoilage, etc., stabilizing the prices. Services rendered by wholesalers. Services to manufacturers. The wholesaler helps the manufacturer to get the benefit of economies of large-scale production. Then as the wholesaler collects small orders from a number of retailers, the manufacturer is relieved from the trouble and expense of collecting a large number of small orders. The wholesaler passes on to the manufacturers all the information that he obtains from the numerous retailers regarding the changes in market conditions. He makes cash purchases from the manufacturers. This enables the manufacturers to carry on his business with less amount of capital. The wholesaler buys in large quantities and keeps the goods in his warehouse. As the wholesaler buys when the prices are low and sells when the prices rise, the manufacturer is helped to maintain steady prices for his product. He advises the manufacturers on product features, packaging, and advertisement. By taking over the marketing function from the manufacturers, the wholesaler enables them to concentrate on production. Services to retailers. Wholesaler helps retailers obtain goods more quickly and more conveniently from the wholesalers than from manufacturers. Whenever new goods are introduced in the market, the wholesaler will inform the matter to retailers. He gives valuable advices to retailers on business matters. The wholesaler renders financial assistance to the retailer by granting him the credit facilities. This enables the retailer to carry on business with less amount of working capital. The wholesaler arranges for assembling and warehousing of goods. Wholesaler bears all the risks associated with the storage and distribution of goods. Wholesaler helps the retailers to keep prices steady. Services to the society. The wholesaler passes on to the retailers and consuming public the benefit of specialization of marketing activities. Wholesaler introduces fashion and new style in the market. He raises the standard of living of the people. Wholesalers undertake market research also. This also is very beneficial to the society. Next is managing retailing. According to Ostro and Smith, retail store is a business which regularly offers goods for sale to ultimate customer. A retail store buys, stores, promotes, and sells the merchandise. Functions of retailers: collection and assembling of variety of goods from different wholesalers, undertaking transport for carrying the goods purchased, selling of products in small quantities for the convenience of consumers, sorting and grading of goods, giving credit facilities to regular customers, cultivating personal relationship with the customers, undertaking some sales promotion through display of goods in the shops, undertaking the risk of fire, theft and damage of goods while in stock, keeping ready stocks of large number of items, collectively the marketing information and supplying it to the wholesalers. Then next it is about services rendered by retailers. First of all, services to the consumers. The retailer stocks different varieties of goods, hence the consumer can purchase almost all items from one retailer. The retailer sells goods in small quantities to the consumers and when they require. As and when they require. He keeps a large variety of goods produced by different manufacturers. He supplies information to the consumer about the arrival of new products. Retailer is an expert and specialist in the distribution of consumer goods. The retailer sells goods to regular customers on credit. The retailer renders many after-sale services. The retailer generally establishes his shop near the customers. Next, it is about services to manufacturers and wholesalers. The retailer looks after the entire process of distribution. By advertising and displaying goods, the retailer creates demand for the product. As the retailer is in close touch with customers, he collects the necessary market information and supplies the same to manufacturer through wholesaler. He finds consumers for the new product introduced in the market. Types of retailing: itinerant retailers and fixed shop retailers. Itinerant retailers in the classification: hawkers, peddlers, market traders, street vendors, and cheap jacks. Fixed shop retailers includes, they are divided into two, further divided into two: small scale and large scale. Small scale, independent retailers, street stall holders, second hand goods sellers, specialty shops. Large scale includes department stores, multiple shops, mail order business, consumer cooperatives, and supermarket. Itinerant retailers are those retailers who have no fixed place of business. These include hawkers, peddlers, street vendors, etc. Fixed shop retailers, as the name indicates, they have fixed business premises. They are divided into two: small shops and large shops. Small shops are organized on small scale. These include syndicate stores, street stall holders, discount houses, etc. Large scale retailing: goods are produced in large scale to meet the demands of growing population. Some of the important types of large scale retail establishments are: first one, department stores. A department store is a large scale retail establishment having in the same building a number of departments, each dealing in one particular type of product. Example, there will be cloth department, drug department, stationery, provisions, etc. എല്ലാം കൂടി ഒരൊറ്റ ഇതിൽ തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കും ഉണ്ടാവുക. Multiple shop or chain stores. A multiple shop is a system of branch shops operated under a centralized management and dealing in similar lines of goods. National Bookstall and Milma are two popular multiple shops working in Kerala. Mail order business houses is a kind of trade where business is done through post or mail. Then consumers cooperative stores owned by a group of consumers themselves on cooperative principles. Super bazaars are large retail stores organized by cooperative societies which sell a variety of products under a single roof. Modern types of retail stores: general merchandise retail stores, they are divided into pinnim division വരുന്നു. Supermarkets, hypermarkets, discount stores, and specialty stores. The following are the different types of specialty stores: specialty retail stores, off-price retailers, category killers. Then finally, പിന്നെ continuation എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ ഷോപ്പിംഗ് മാൾസ്, ഡെസ്റ്റിനേഷൻ സ്റ്റോർ, റീറ്റെയിൽ ചെയിൻ, മോം ആൻഡ് പോപ്പ് സ്റ്റോർസ്, e-tailers. Non-store retailing is the marketing of products outside the confines of a retail facility. The three major types of non-store retailing are: direct selling refers to sale of products to ultimate consumers through face-to-face sales presentation at home or in the workplace. Direct marketing is non-store retailing that uses non-personal media to introduce products to consumers who then purchase the products by mail or telephone. In the words of Dick Shaver, direct marketing is like opening a store in print and managing it. Features of direct marketing: it goes directly to an identified person or a household. It is interactive. It makes use of customer database. The response can be accurately measured. It creates direct relationship between marketers and customers. Growth of direct marketing: the change in the lifestyle, technological advancement, more women are entering in the workforce, availability of consumer credit cards, increasing family incomes, availability of professional agencies. Forms of direct marketing: catalog marketing, direct response, television home shopping, kiosk marketing, telemarketing, and social media marketing. Advantages of direct marketing: first of all, advantages to consumers: it is very convenient, it saves lot of time, it provides more choice, it provides information for better buying decisions, it gives an opportunity to express needs and wants of customers. Advantages to sellers: it helps to develop brand loyalty, it helps in market segmentation, it is cost efficient, not effective, sorry, and quick. It helps to collect information regarding customers. It is flexible and can be adjusted as per the needs and requirements of the customers. Customers can be approached easily. On the other hand, disadvantages are customers may be cheated and misled by giving false, exaggerated or incomplete information. തെറ്റായ വിവരങ്ങൾ. Initial cost is high, encroaches the privacy of consumers, create irritation among consumers, difficult to get and keep the customers' loyalty and patronage, upset the existing intermediaries. Online marketing is a process that creates exchanges by linking the customers with the sellers or producers electronically through an interactive computer system. It is also known as internet marketing or web marketing. Advantages of online marketing: more information is provided to customers. It has large customer base because marketing can be done on a global basis. Customer can compare prices. Distribution channels are shorter. There is a direct interaction between the marketer and the customers. Cost of operation are lower. It allows customers to shop online at their convenience from the home or workplace. Indians are still reluctant to give their credit card details for online purchases. Limitations: there are certain products which cannot be digitized. Internet marketing: there is no touch and feel experience to customers. The information shared by customers about their personal and financial matters are likely to be misused. Even though online marketing is growing, it does not cover a substantial portion of population. Service backup is a major problem. In online marketing, there are problems associated with return products, payment and performance complaints. Logistics is the process of coordinating the flow of raw materials, goods, services, and information among the members of the supply chain. Council of Logistic Management (CLM) defines logistics as a process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow and storage of raw materials in process inventory, finished goods, and released information from point of origin to point of consumption for the purpose of confirming customer requirements. Then classification: mainly inbound and outbound logistics. Objectives of logistics: to help maintain inventory at lowest level so as to avoid unnecessary blocking of working capital in inventory, to reduce freight by selecting the proper mode of transport, consolidation of freight, route planning, long distance shipments, etc., to ensure delivery of materials or finished products on time by proper planning of modes of transport, to reduce damage to products by using proper logistical packaging, mechanized material handling equipment, etc., to provide services to customers in the shortest time frame. Logistics management: the management process which integrates the movement of goods, services, information and capital right from the sourcing of raw material till it reaches its end consumer is known as logistic management. Key activities involved in logistics or logistic management: network design, order processing, procurement, material handling, inventory management. Then management has to maintain inventories of raw material and parts, semi-finished goods, finished goods, packaging and labeling, warehousing. Importance or significance or objectives of logistic management: cost reduction and profit maximization, time utility and place utility, competitive edge, effective communication system, sound inventory management, customer satisfaction. Difference between logistics management and supply chain management: first of all, meaning: the process of integrating the movement and maintenance of goods in and out the organization is logistics, whereas supply chain management, the coordination and management of the supply chain activities, അതിനാണ് supply chain management എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Next point, objective: customer satisfaction. Here it is competitive advantage. Then evolution: the concept of logistics has been evolved earlier. Supply chain management is a modern concept. Number of organizations involved: logistics management single, supply chain management multiple. Relationship with one another: logistics management is a part of supply chain management. Supply chain management is the new version of logistics management. Focus: on transportation and storage of goods, on finished products and or customers. Difference between physical distribution and logistics, management of movement, inventory control, protection, storage of raw materials and of processed or finished goods to and from the production line, whereas logistics, process of planning, implementing and controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow and storage of raw material in process inventory, finished goods and related information from point of origin to point of consumption for the purpose of conforming customer requirements. Narrow scope, larger scope, concerned with the creation of time and place utilities, whereas in logistics, time, place and form and possession utilities. Deals with outbound activities only, deals with both inbound and outbound activities. Clear ആണ്? അണ്ടർസ്റ്റുഡ് ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു ആൾ.